A man named Elliot finds a sharp steel wire on the road. Meanwhile, a group of street racers on the opposite side are speeding towards him. The consequences will be unimaginable if they are caught by the steel wire. In a crisis, Elliot has to extract an iron rod from the ground. Despite exerting his full strength, the iron rod remains immovable. As these brave youth are about to lose their heads. Fortunately, in the last second, he successfully resolves the crisis. At this moment, those youth receive a new mission. They are ordered to pivot. At that moment, Elliot spots another steel wire being pulled ahead. He rushes forward, trying to stop the tragedy from happening. The terrible thing happened in the end. A few days ago, Elliot receives a phone call in a car. A man asks him to kill a fly. And he will get $1,000. So he tries it and kills the fly. He instantly gets $1,000. The man on the phone repeats it to him. If he eats the dead fly, he can get another $3,000. However, he hesitates before accepting the repulsive demand. Half believing, he goes back home to check his bank account. He finds an extra $1,000. So he immediately takes the fly out of his pocket. It's just a fly, it won't harm anyone. As he finishes eating, his phone receives a deposit notification. Shortly after, he receives a phone call confirming the completion of the second task. There are still 11 tasks remaining. If he finishes all, he can win $5 million. In the face of vast riches. He doesn't hold his bottom line. The next day, he gets the third task, make a child cry in 5 minutes. Then he can receive $5,000. The parents of nearby children are all present. So he tries to search for a lone child. He finds a girl needing the bathroom. He approaches and stops the little girl, saying that her parents are discussing sending her to an orphanage. After the girl leaves sadly, the money is deposited and a text is sent. He quickly calls his girlfriend to get ready to leave. The girl's mother suddenly catches up. She dumps the trash on Elliot's car. Elliot feels guilty and goes to the church to repent. Out of his expectation, he gets the fourth task. He is asked to burn blind children's handicraft in the church. Elliot secretly moves the craft outside the house. Regrettably, the wind direction causes considerable damage to the church. He quickly sounds the alarm and is about to leave. Then he gets the next task, to follow the beggar across the street. Then swap his clothes for an ostrich. Elliot's girlfriend is upset with his odd behavior. But the game rules prohibit telling anyone. So he has to make up an excuse to deceive his girlfriend. The unclothed homeless man is swiftly found by the police. And then there is an ostrich at the police station. His next task seems relatively easy. Just treat a man to coffee. Unexpectedly, the man is discovered deceased. Elliot pauses. But if he gives up now, he will lose all the previous winnings. He has to apply makeup to the corpse. He disguises him as a disabled person. After entering the coffee shop, he feigns his friend's excessive drinking. Several police officers enter. They don't notice anything unusual. And sit behind Elliot. Suddenly the body falls down. Elliot is so terrified. At last, the coffee is ready. But the waiter serves it to the police officers. As the task time nears its end, Elliot snatches the police's coffee. Put it on his table and take out money to pay the bill. The police sees his sincerity, so they leave him alone. After leaving the cafe, the man mentions that Elliot did well. So he is allowed to skip the 7th task. The man tells him he is now a wanted criminal. If he completes the next task, they can clear his name. Now he's on the gang site in a tight spot. He immediately goes to the 8th task. Upon opening the door, he finds a man inside. He is also a gamer. He must wait for Elliot at this hotel. Then a nurse walks in, and Elliot receives the call. To help the nurse amputate the man's arm in the room. He thinks it is too cruel and hesitates. But he doesn't expect the man to volunteer. To complete his own task, the man mercilessly mocks Elliot. Reluctantly, Elliot has to oblige the man. The reward amount has reached $250,000 by then. With the money, Elliot's first action is to hold a decent wedding with his girlfriend. At this moment, he gets another task. He is asked to ruin his own wedding. Elliot wants to refuse because he is doing all this for his girlfriend. But the man on the phone threatens him. If he doesn't complete the task, he will face 10 years in prison. And his girlfriend will be taken by another person. Elliot couldn't do it in front of his relatives and friends. At this moment, the police arrive to arrest Elliot's younger brother. To cover his brother's retreat and finish the task, he directly smashes the wedding scene to pieces. This move angers the police. The man calls once more. The next task is to make him surrender inside the house. Elliot has to do as told and opens the door to surrender. The police quickly subdue him. Upon arrival at the police station, the chief discloses all his crimes. In the moment he leaves, Elliot removes the leg of the stool. Then he kidnaps the chief. Only by finishing all these tasks can he clear his name. After that, Elliot escapes through the broken window. Arrive at next task location. This time he only needs to hang up the old lady's clothes. But then he spots the motorcycle guys. Witnessing countless innocent deaths. He finally couldn't bear this cruel game anymore. He is so angry and immediately discards his phone. Now he decides to stop another gamer, but the gamer ignores his advice completely and drives off to complete the task. Elliot has to reluctantly follow along and eventually catches up with the gamer. Upon closer inspection, he arrives at his own home downstairs. He opens the door and finds his father at home. His younger brother walks out from the bathroom. He is also a game participant. Elliot inquires about the final task. At this moment, the father answers, the final task is equal for all. To kill a family member. He had also played the game in his youth. And he was the final winner. Because he personally killed his own wife. Regarding this, the father feels very guilty. He hopes his sons won't get caught in the game whirlpool again. And he immediately ends his own life. Elliot advises his brother to quit the game and leave with him, but the younger brother really wants to win the game. He pretends to take something from his backpack. But he is actually looking for a gun. And his brother sees everything. Elliot is so disappointed, has to shoot his younger brother first. Elliot is grief-stricken as he gazes at his brother's body. Then his phone shows a $5 million deposit. Despite winning a fortune, he loses his family. Just as he is about to leave, a cop suddenly shows up. He begins tidying up the crime scene alone. Elliot opens the door. He hates these games very much, without saying a word. Elliot shoots him directly, due to his rule violation. His prize money is reset to 0. In the movie's end, his girlfriend gets a mysterious call too. However, her choice is completely opposite to Elliot's.